The good and the bad about needing care is that life moves ahead effortlessly until you are stopped in your tracks by a health event that requires your attention. So for a period of time, hopefully a long time, you live without worry of illness or a plan for how you will pay for needed care. Small bumps in the road occur. For men, a diagnosis of high blood pressure, treatable by medication. For women, a too slow thyroid, treatable by medication. In the larger picture of life, these seem like small diagnoses that can be managed with a pill. What is missed is that these not so seemingly important diagnoses, treatable by medication, have underlying causes. Maybe you weigh a little bit too much, fail to sleep through the night, or sleep at all. Your diet consists of food purchased at drive-through restaurants. Maybe your understanding of the benefits of exercise, but you never translate this knowledge into physical activity. The more you ignore a diagnosis without making an attempt to accept the recommendations of your doctor, the more difficulty you'll have with advancing health issues later in life. It's the same for saving for or preparing for retirement. The more you believe that the government and Medicare will provide for health care, the greater your surprise will be when care is needed and Medicare doesn't pay. Financial issues, especially those involving health care costs, become more prominent with age, especially if your health is poor. Individuals with life-changing diagnoses like Alzheimer's disease, Parkinson's disease, and multiple sclerosis face the possibility of years of very expensive care draining bank and retirement accounts. If you're the spouse of an individual with one of these diagnoses and the majority of your retirement savings goes to provide health and ongoing care, what will you be left with when the time comes that you need care and all the money has been spent on care for your spouse? For those of you familiar or unfamiliar with Medicaid, it's a government health care program for the very low income. If you live alone and you're not married, to receive assistance through Medicaid, you will need to qualify by health and by income. On a monthly basis, you can have no more than $2,000 in your bank account. And you can't have any savings, no investments or other financial means that raises your monthly total over this amount. If you are married, the qualifications are similar. However, your spouse or partner can keep slightly over $105,000 as of 2013 in an account in their name. This means that if you have savings over this amount, you'll be forced to spend it for care until the amount reaches this level. This is why Medicaid is called a spend down, because you're forced to spend all of your money to the limit allowed by Medicaid. This really doesn't seem fair when you worked all those years to build a nest egg for retirement, and the money has to be spent so that you or a spouse can access care. Medicaid does present a harsh reality. And by the way, don't think about giving away money or property. Medicaid poses harsh penalties for individuals who attempt to game the system. Years ago, I had a client who gave her granddaughter $60,000 to pay for a wedding and the down payment on a house. A year later, she had a severe stroke and needed substantial care. At the time she was living with her daughter, an application for Medicaid was made. My client was declined because of the gift. This meant that in order to receive care, my client's income and her daughter's saving had to be privately used to pay for care until the $60,000 penalty was repaid. Her daughter spent nearly all of her savings for care. Her mother died before she could reapply for Medicaid. If you're in a situation where you or a loved one needs care and there are few funds to pay, plan ahead and plan early. Retain the services of Care Advocate to explain available services and the Medicaid program. Each state has different qualifications. It often takes months to receive financial approval of a Medicaid application. Communities accepting Medicaid are few, and the better ones have long waiting lists. I'm Pamela Wilson of the Caring Generation, an online community of support for family and professional caregivers.